I would love to invite Tanvi Bhatt, the personal branding pioneer in India, personal brand strategist. If I could welcome aboard you, ma'am. As the pioneer of personal branding in India, Tanvi empowers leaders to become thought leaders and thought leaders to become icons at Panache, India's premier personal branding company. The go-to speaker and authority on personal branding in India, Tanvi is recognized as a personal branding expert for the CXOs by the Economic Times corporate dossier, where she writes on all things personal branding under her signature column, Brand You. Tanvi is a regularly featured expert across national and international newspapers and magazines such as The Times of India, The Economic Times, Entrepreneur, INC Pitch, YSF, to name a few. Tanvi was presented with the Best Young Women Entrepreneur at the National Women Leaders in India Awards 2013 for having founded India's premier personal branding company, Panache, at a young age of 22. Tanvi has been felicitated as Brand Strategist of the Year 2014 at the Brands Academy Leadership Excellence Award by the Strategy King and Grandmaster Vishwanathan Anand. Apart from consulting with the CXOs of the Indian Corporate Society, Tanvi frequently speaks at MNCs like KPMG, SAP, Infosys, Mahindra, Tata Group, and PSG Chamber of Commerce, etc. Happy having you aboard, ma'am, and please.
Okay, so we have a 25 minutes addressal by Tanvi as a host of achievements. We are eager to hear from you. And then we have followed by 5 minutes of Q&A. Thank you.
Are y'all able to see this? Should we dim the lights?
Yeah, maybe we can have that light.
I think because I can't read anything from yours, so I'm just wondering how we all can. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us at the TIE conference today. The topic, which is very close to my heart, which is personal branding, and I'm going to spend another 25-30. I will take the liberty of extending by a few minutes for the benefit of the audience. I'm going to help you all understand what personal branding really means and how you can be evolved as an icon in your respective industry or community by following certain basic principles of letting world know who you are, what you're made of, what you dream of, and how you are here to make a difference in the society. How many of you all in this room are dreamers? Come on, be proud of it. Okay. How many of y'all are doers? What about the rest who raise their hands? They just keep dreaming? Daydreaming?
Actually, you can take a few more minutes. We have the time
Okay.
because we saved a little bit on the other session. So please.
Sure. Thank you.
Sorry.
Great. So now you're stuck with me for the next 30-40 minutes. Okay. Ever since we've started working or setting up our own businesses, we've seen leaders and thought leaders all around us. Agree? According to y'all, y'all can just name a few that come to your mind. Who is the most inspirational thought leader that you look up to? Your favorite thought leaders? Steve Jobs. Who's that? I can't hear you. Osho. Okay, yeah, right. I'm sorry? Oh, our president, ex-president Abdul Kalam, right. Anybody else? Thought leaders. Accepted. Anybody else? Abraham Lincoln. Brilliant. Swami Vivekananda. What do you all think differentiates, mere leaders from these thought leaders? They inspire you. What else? A larger vision. A greater purpose? Right? What else? Why do you look up to these people? Their body of work or their legacy that they've left behind. So, leaders are very many all across the world. But thought leaders, in my humble opinion, they're a rare and distinguished breed. They are the dreamers. They are the ones who've changed the world in their humble capacities. But more often than not, they are celebrated as the icons of their generation. It really does not matter where they've come from or who they were once upon a time. What really matters is what they've done in a lifetime, how they've inspired you. Change is the soul of their thought leadership. And thought leadership is the soul of their leadership, which is what differentiates them, elevates them from mere leaders in the world. Devoid of which their personal brand or their personal life stories would have lacked the most beautiful element of it all, the soulful inspiration which drove them, motivated them to do something larger than life, to inspire a million others for generations to come, to impact the world in their own humble ways. You know, the human soul is wired to seek inspiration in everything around us. But more importantly, in people, in their stories. Stories which resonate with ours, stories which inspire us, stories which make us want to do more, be more. These are the thought leaders who've personified such epic stories in their lifetimes, which have inspired generations to come. And that is what forms the genesis of their personal brands, their legacies. That is what we celebrate them for today. Even years or decades or centuries sometimes after they've ceased to exist amongst us. That is the power of your thought leadership and your personal brand. Your dream, your dare, and your do until the very end of it all. That is what epic brand stories are made of. So tell me, what do you dream of? You all are dreamers that you say. What do you dream of? What is that change you're striving to make around you? I'm not saying you have to be the Vivekananda or the Steve Jobs or the Nelson Mandelas of your communities. But what is that humble difference or change you are working towards? What is that brand story you're in the making of? And what is it that you wish to be celebrated for 50 years from now? What do you dream of? Ask yourself when you go back home today. But for now, ask yourself, since the topic we are discussing right now is personal branding, do you honestly believe when you ask yourself, am I a brand? Yes or no? How many yeses? That's it? That was a midway yes. What about others? Understand my question. I did not ask you if you think you're an icon. Do you think you're a brand? Let me twist the question to make it more relevant. Do you think you have a reputation in the industry? How many yeses for this? Others? Everybody has a reputation in the industry, good, bad, ugly, whatever it might be. Agree? Yes? Anonymously, yes? Okay. So, my dear friend, if you think you have a reputation in the industry, you have a brand in the industry. It is what people know, think, feel, talk about you when you're not there in the same room with them. That is your brand, that is your reputation. And that is nothing but your thought leadership. What they talk about you. What is that exclusive promise of value which you bring on the table? What is that change or difference or dream that you are chasing? What do you stand for? What is your dream today? And is the world in on your dream? More importantly, do they know what difference you're trying to make? If not, it's time. It's time to let the world in on what you dream of and what you wish to achieve in your life. So let's put the question out here once again. Now, do you think you are a brand? Yes? Loud and proud, yes? Not good enough. Am I a brand? I think probably we missed the T, that's why, there's low key and energy. All right. So I will accept it in good faith that you all now are brainwashed by me and you'll accept it that you all are a brand. What next? Manage it? But before that, let's try and ask ourselves a deeper question. What is my brand? Okay, I am a brand. Agree. Accepted in good faith. But what is your brand all about? What do you stand for? What do people know about you? What do they don't know about you, more importantly, because that is more fatal to your brand. If the people don't know the best of you, you're losing out in the game. If you have not taken the initiative or the onus of building your identity, being vocal about who you are, what you dream of, what you're doing in your life, what you're made of, you allow yourself to be at mercy of others. You allow yourself to be taken for a ride. You give people the leeway to think, talk what they may want about you. Because you don't care enough. You don't care enough about your own identity and reputation and what people know, think, feel, talk about you. Do you think it's time we change that? Especially if today onwards we know how to. Do you think we should change that? Yes. So what happens when you take the initiative of letting the world know who you really are? You influence their thoughts. I like to say it, you give them a slight nudge in the right direction. This is who I am. This is what you must know about me. This is my body of work. Which of the scenarios do you want to find yourself in? Former or latter? Former or latter? Both? How? Former or latter? Do you want to be at mercy of others, letting people know, think, feel, talk what they want about you? Or do you want to take control of what the world knows about you by celebrating your personal brand? Latter? Thank you. So, I hope I'm audible without a mic. I really hate standing behind the booth and talking.
Are you comfortable?
I'm loud enough. I could be louder, but let's not touch it. Okay, so what is it that makes you brand you? What is the difference? What is the process? What is the journey? What is the secret? What is the strategy branding. The first stage of discovering your personal brand is the most important one. That's foundation of understanding who you are, what you believe in, what you value in your life, what you love to do, what you dream of, what is the purpose of that dream, what is the legacy you wish to build, why you want to do it, why you should do it, what makes it different, special, unique. All these things go in crafting the story of your personal brand. Once you've discovered what your brand story is all about, you design a strategy to share it with the world. You knowing it is enough? You knowing your brand story is enough?
No.
Absolutely not. What's the point, right? The game changes when the world knows about you and your brand. How do you ensure that you're creating the right communication strategy to put your brand on the map? How do you ensure that you are then onwards executing the strategy to the T? So everything that you focused on, creating a brand value pyramid, visibility strategy, influencing people, evolving as a powerful thought leader in your industry, is all yielding the desired impact. By delivering that brand promise, by living up to the experience that you're telling people, I am capable of, or I bring this value to the table. You will have captured this entire process in 3 distinct phases. It's a long journey. It's a long journey of self-discovery, transformation, and a commitment to your dreams. And celebration of your legacy, which you've embarked upon. So my message to you today is, start with discovering what your personal brand stands for. Create a strategy to ensure that the world is in on your brand story, and your dreams. And most importantly, deliver. Deliver on each and every promise that you make to the world and to yourself, because it's your dreams that we're talking about. Correct?
Yes.
So, let's try and understand certain critical areas of discovering, designing, and delivering your personal brand story. How will you discover your brand? What goes in the process of discovering? What is it that makes you absolutely unique and absolutely iconic? We work with something called as a brand new mosaic. It's a mosaic of 4 very important W's of your brand identity. Who are you? Mind you, it is not your name. It is not your designation. It's not your title that you serve in your organization, in your business, in your company. What do you do? Whom do you do it for? Your target audience, your ideal customer client base benefits the most from the value you bring on the table. And the most important, or the cherry on the cake as I like to call it, why? Why do you matter? Why I should pay attention to you? Why I should take you seriously? Why I should want to do business with you? These are by and large the most important elements of your personal brand identity and positioning. Who are you? What do you do? Whom do you do it for? And why you are the go-to guy in your industry. Why you are the subject matter expert. Why you are the brand that matters. Let's take a few examples to understand. Who is he?
Richard Branson.
So nobody said Richard Branson when I asked you all for a thought leader.
Yeah.
Why? Isn't he worthy of being hailed as a thought leader? One of the most successful and celebrated entrepreneurs in the world. Agree? What is Branson all about? What makes Richard Branson Richard Branson?
Virgin.
Of course, his plethora of companies which he's built over the last 50-60 years. But what is it about Richard Branson? What is that never to die attitude? Let's see what Richard Branson's 4Ws are as an example to understand how you can craft your brand identity and your 4Ws. Who is he? An eclectic entrepreneur passionate about adventure and adulation. What does he do? What does Richard Branson do apart from, minting billions and billions of dollars? He ensures that he has fun in everything that he does and his customers have fun when they are associated with the brand Virgin. Whom does he do it for? Anybody with a wallet? Or anybody who shares that passion and love for fun and adventure which he does? And why is being able to become the Richard Branson of the world? Never say no attitude, philosophy which he lives by, philosophy which he believes in, that it's not only about profits, it's about people and planet as well. That is what makes Richard Branson Richard Branson. In interest of time, I'm going to skip this example. So how do you ensure that your 4Ws are absolutely unique and exclusive to you and do not mingle with his 4Ws, are not similar to his? I was inspired and fascinated by Ash's story when he said that he changed the course of his life just because he wanted to pursue his passion. If you have not known passion, you have not known life. If you have not had that crazy devotion to something, you're missing out on something in your life. Something that matters to you, something that moves you, something that keeps you awake till 4 a.m. in the night and jumpstarts your day at 6 a.m. on the same following morning. What kind of passion is it? Better? Who will tell me? Okay, where was I? Passions. That is a power of passion in your life. And that is what forms the soul of your personal brand. What do you believe in? What are those morals, ethics, values that you adhere to, that guide you during the darkest nights and brightest dawns? What are those beliefs which you will not give up on What are those principles that make you you? Your passions and values form the soul of your personal brand, something that differentiates you from anyone and everyone in this entire world. What makes you unique? What makes you exceptional? What makes you an icon? The soul of your personal brand is from where the entire legacy emanates. It's your love, your dream, things that matter to you, things that you believe in. These are the foundations of your personal brand story and your legacy. What is the difference between having a dream and having a vision? Who will tell me? Don't you think having a vision is a step closer to reality than just having a dream? Agree? Yes. So to take it further, can I say that having goals is 2 steps closer to making your dreams come true? Having a vision is important. It dictates your why. It dictates your what. What you want to do in your life. What difference you want to make. What legacy you're trying to build. And then set goals to make it come true. But when you get up every single morning to take 1 step closer to your vision, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why does it matter to me? Why does it fuel me? Why does it move me? What is the purpose? Why are you chasing this vision? If your vision, your dream lacks a purpose, it's going to be a long, struggling journey. Because there's nothing to motivate you every single day. So before you embark upon making any dream come true, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Once you have your why, go ahead and create standardized goals to ensure that you're getting 1 step closer to your dream, not just your vision, to your dream. People who live their dreams achieve their goals. People who live their dreams play by their strengths. They leverage on the skills, the talents, the geniuses that they are born with and they've honed in their lifetime. When you play by your strengths, you're halfway ahead in the game. When you leverage your motivated skills, that is where you get a competitive edge about all other Me Too entrepreneurs trying to do similar things in your industry. Because these are the things that motivate you. What is it that makes you an exceptional and a unique person? What is it that the world needs to know about you? That one idea or thought that they can relate to you with. When you think of Steve Jobs, what do you think of? Apple? Sorry, what's that?
Change situationally.
I can't hear you.
Because you have to change the color as per the situation. That is what the picture.
Oh no, that's not what the picture says. The picture says you have to acknowledge and celebrate your uniqueness so that people know you for one exclusive thing. So you own that one exclusive piece of real estate in their hearts and minds. something that nobody else can capture or dominate. That one idea which you personify. Ask yourself, what makes you unique? What makes you special? What makes you like no one other? And what you need the world to know. That is going to be your brand distinction. The distinction for your personal brand. The strategy that goes into your positioning. Steve Jobs has been positioned as the father of modern computing. What do you want to be known for? Ask yourself. Like I said earlier, we are wired to fall in love with people whose stories resonate with our stories. Because we are always looking out for people with whom we have a common interest, a common past. We are always trying to find a little bit of ourselves in the world, just so that we can establish that first point of connect and affinity. When you're crafting your brand story, remember, that is what you need to do. Establish that first point of connect with your target audience. Inspire them so that they seek their life story in yours, or get inspired from your story and do something absolutely extraordinary in their lives. Here's just some tips for you to go and work on your brand stories. 5 steps to stories that win hearts. When you start writing your brand story, ensure that you open with your big bang brand statement. Who you are, what you do, whom you do it for, and why you matter. Once you've done that, make your brand irresistible. Dish out what is it that makes you absolutely irresistible and accomplished as an entrepreneur. And unignorable as a dreamer. Make your brand irresistible. Give people something that they cannot say no to. Once you've done that, take them through a time capsule. Make your life come alive. Share with them what you've learned in your life, what your journey has been till date, how it has grown you, shaped you as a person, as an entrepreneur. You can use your passions, aspirations, learn. Is that a time signal? Thanks. So where was I? Yeah, you can use your passions, vision, aspiration, learnings, milestones, setbacks. Show the human side of you. When you're ending your brand story, make that person reading it want to jump out of his seat, grab the phone, and dial that call to you. Because he wants to partner with you in your journey, or he wants to do business with you, or he wants to give you $10 million to invest in your company, because he wants to be a part of that dream. He wants to be a part of the legacy which you are building. So quickly moving forward, once you've discovered what your brand, your story, your legacy needs to be all about, how do you ensure you share that with the world? Brand your leadership. Home into that one idea or thought. If you matter, show the world how and why you matter. If you're leading a community, a revolution, where are you leading them to? Where you want to go or where they want to go? You would be a successful entrepreneur or a thought leader only when you lead your community to their destination, their choice of destination, where they want to go in their life, by enabling them and empowering them to make their dreams come true, by partnering with you in your journey. If you can't do that, we have a problem. And finally, never lose the sight of that dream. Always keep enviable focus on that focus of your brand, your thought leadership, the purpose of that dream. Why are you doing it? Never lose that focus. Every time you're sharing some part of your brand story with the world, these are 3 areas which you need to reinforce. How can you do that? How can you repeatedly reinforce these 3 areas of your brand leadership? Does this image tell you anything? Jack of all trades and master of none? Right. So we've learned, correct? So we've learned. Do you think that holds true today? It does? Or do you think it should have evolved like us? Should it have evolved? If yes, to what? You have to be the jack of all trades, but you have to have your skill sets, your armory, which you're absolutely good at, and you're constantly honing that skill set, getting better at it day after day. And that one formidable talent, or your thought leadership is what I like to call it, which makes you the emperor of. So your new mantra today onwards should be, yes, I'm going to be the jack of all trades, but I'm going to be the king of some and the Napoleon of one. One idea which I own, which I rock, which nobody can beat me on. What is that idea for you? Ask yourself. Ask yourself, what is it that you bring on the table? What is that exclusive value that people associate you with? What is your emperor value? What are your king values? And finally, what are those, of course, survivable jack values which you need to know? Everybody needs to know in your industry. But that is not the game changer. The game changer is your emperor value, your thought leadership, which is going to go ahead and become your legacy. Do we know this gentleman? Heard of him? Anybody who's heard of him? His name is Devdutt Patnaik. He's an author, an illustrator, a storyteller, a leadership guru, management guru, and above all, he's a doctor of medicine. Imagine. So I've tried to encapsulate his brand value pyramid to show you what is it that he is the emperor of today. Mythology. Learnings from Indian mythology and using that wisdom to guide the Indian corporate society today. He's a leadership guru, he's a storyteller, he's an author of n number of books. And also, he's a professional doctor. Not that he practices medicine, in my humble knowledge, but he is. Have you ever come across somebody who's got such a diverse ensemble of talents that make him absolutely unique as a person, as an entrepreneur, as a professional? Ask yourself, how will my brand value pyramid look if I'm supposed to make it? Once you've zeroed down to all these think tank business, it's time to get into action. How will you ensure that you're in front of the right people, doing the right things at the right opportune moments? How many of y'all have ever Googled yourselves? Okay. How many of y'all have ever Googled others? I expected all hands over here. How many of you have used Google? Nahi? Listen, I can talk only in English. I can't talk in Malayali. Somebody wants to translate for me?
Yeah.
I'm not getting a response.
So use Google, you know. Yeah, all.
So say yes. It's Google God. You have to pay respects once a day. Minimum. But yes, don't we go and pay respects to the Google God at least once a day today? Jokes apart, if you Google people, trust me, they Google you as well. Especially if you're an entrepreneur. If you're out in the industry doing, seeking, wanting, growing business. How do you ensure that people, when they Google you, find the right information about you, about your company, that you're presented in the best light? You have multiple tools at your disposal today to be visible and presentable in the social world. A few of these are LinkedIn, Google+, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, SlideShare, Pinterest, Tout, and the last one. What would that stand for? That simple definitely is. What am I trying to convey with that? What is that one piece of digital real estate which you would have full control over to present your brand in its best fashion? Your own personal or company website? Your own blog? Tomorrow if Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter shut down after 5 years, what happens to your 100,000 followers? Right? Would you have control over that? Would you want to start your brand building from scratch? The point is, it's great to use all these social media tools at your disposal for personal brand building and visibility and influence building. But the first step you need to do today is have your personal website, yourname.com, which is completely disjoined from your corporate brand website. It's all about you, your brand, your story, your dreams, your blog, your thoughts, everything about you. It's the place people should want to go to know more about you. Isn't that even a good idea? How many of you have a personal website today? Very good. After today, how many of y'all will go and have a personal website? Very good. My job is half done. Fantastic. But yes, it's very critical for you to have and own that digital real estate today. Complete control over your brand identity online. Okay? How do you deliver? How do you deliver on that rockstar brand experience? The first step is know your brand. Brand yourself. Be known for something. Stand for something. Be celebrated for something. Share it with the world. Don't be the frog in the well. Be out there. Be available. Be accessible. And above all, as a thought leader, be useful. Give back something to the society. Deliver on your promises. Walk the talk. That is the secret to rocking your talk. In our industry, we call these the 4 critical C's of personal branding. Clarity on what your brand is all about, knowing it yourself, and then showing it to the world. Consistency in delivering your brand promise over and over and over and over and over again. If you're not consistent, if Apple iPhone 7 doesn't work, after all the mega successes of iPhone 1 to 6, what will happen to brand value of Apple? Unimaginable, right? It's taken for granted that they have to be consistent performers. Constancy in being useful to your communities, being available, being accessible, being there for them, adding value to them, even if they are not aware of what value they are looking out for from you. That is the job of a thought leader. Leading the way when people don't know where they want to be led to. And doing all these things 24/7, 365 days a year for the rest of your life with commitment to build the most precious asset of your personal brand. What is that? What is the last, 4th, final C? Your credibility. Isn't that what we live for? Is there anything more precious in your life than the credibility that you've built over the last 20, 30, 40, 50 odd years? Is there? Yes? Please tell me what it is. Yes? Bank balance? दूसरी बात है. Apart from that, nothing, right? Do you know today what people know, think, feel about you? Have you ever done a brand audit for yourself? Have you gone and asked people, what do you think about me? How do I make you feel? Do I add value to you? Do I inspire you? Have we ever done that? Yes or no? Should we do that on second thoughts? If you are embarking upon a journey of building our personal brand, should we know what our brand is in the industry today? I think it makes sense. What do you think? It is very important. If you want to embark upon a journey, you need to know where you are standing today. You need to know the equity you've already built in the industry today. You need to ask. You need to do a reputation audit. You need to know what your brand is all about. So that tomorrow, it's easier for you to actually not just say that I want to be iconic, I am iconic. Thank you for your time and attention, and I hope I have done my bit and shared some inspiration in the room. Thank you.
So, thank you, Tanvi. That was a very inspiring session.
Thank you.
Now, over to the floor for questions, Q&A. Who's first?
I'll ask a question.
Yes.
Do you really have to be unique? Do you have to be unique? Can you still have a story even when you're not unique? I mean, think of all the teachers out there, right? A
Right.
teacher does not have to be unique. There could be many similar teachers who could be inspirational. So my question to you is, do you really have to be unique?
No, you don't have to be unique. You are unique. As a person, the things you love, your passions, the values you believe in, the dreams you have, do you think they're identical with any other human being on this earth? Identical. Maybe similar, of course.
But your stories could be similar.
Your stories could be similar, and they would be, because that is what connects you to other people. Certain life incidents, struggles, milestones, achievements, learnings. This is what people seek in your life story, to be inspired.
Who's next?
We use a tool called as a personal brand assessment tool to do the repetition audit. It's an online tool that we use.
Okay.
Probably,
So,
if nobody's interested, I can tell you later.
okay.
Is that it? So then I'll just touch upon a few gleanings that I gathered. First of all, regarding the personal brand, discover the 4 W's: who, what, whom, and why, in terms of brand distinction. And the key advice: be a jack of all trades, king of some, but an emperor of one. And the promise of your brand should have clarity, consistency, constancy, and credibility, like the 4 C's of a diamond. Okay, and most of all, I think that the most significant thought that Tanvi has left us with is to have one's own website. Very important. So, with your permission, shall I wind up the session? Okay, then we take this conclude. Over to the MC.